It is difficult to imagine Hollywood without Bruce Willis. For decades, his presence shaped the tone and texture of blockbuster cinema. He was not merely an action star delivering punchlines between explosions. He redefined what strength looked like on screen. Beginning with Die Hard, he introduced audiences to a different kind of hero, one who bled, doubted, and endured. His characters were not polished superheroes, but ordinary men placed in extraordinary circumstances. That vulnerability became his signature. Viewers didn't just watch him defeat villains, they watched him persist through fear and exhaustion. Over time, that emotional accessibility reshaped the cinematic landscape. Yet while audiences celebrated the legend, subtle changes were unfolding behind the scenes. Changes that would quietly alter the course of his life long before the public understood their meaning. The quiet shifts. No one named long before public statements were released, small adjustments began appearing on film sets. Dialogue was shortened, scenes were restructured, production schedules were handled with greater care. These changes were not dramatic, nor were they met with suspicion. Instead, they were embraced with discretion and respect. Cast and crew members sensed that something deeper than fatigue might be happening, but no one rushed to conclusions. In an industry known for its speed and scrutiny, silence became an act of protection. Those who had worked alongside Bruce for years understood his dedication. Now, they offered him patience in return. There were no confrontations or speculation, only quiet accommodation. The rhythm of filmmaking adapted gently around him, reflecting the loyalty and compassion of those who recognized that sometimes support speaks loudest when it says nothing at all. Subtle signs with heavy meaning. At first, the changes were easy to rationalize. A missed cue here, a longer pause there, moments when words seemed just beyond reach. Directors broke dialogue into shorter segments, allowing space between takes. Adjustments were made without spectacle, preserving both dignity and workflow. On set, professionalism remained intact, but the atmosphere grew more attentive. At home, however, the shifts carried emotional weight. Conversations occasionally stalled. Familiar stories resurfaced more frequently. For a family accustomed to Bruce's quick wit and effortless timing, these moments were noticeable. Still, love does not begin with alarm. It begins with understanding. No one rushed to label what they were witnessing. Instead, they responded with patience, instinctively choosing reassurance over correction. What appeared small on the surface carried deeper meaning, hinting at a reality that had yet to be fully understood. A family choosing closeness. Within the privacy of home, Bruce's family responded not with fear, but with intimacy. Emma Hemming Willis later reflected on moments when he seemed to chase words that once came easily. Rather than drawing attention to these pauses, they slowed their conversations and listened more closely. Tone became more important than precision. Humor still flickered through exchanges, treasured rather than expected. The household adjusted naturally, guided by empathy rather than panic. They learned to sit comfortably with silence, allowing Bruce space without pressure. Love reshaped itself in real time. These quiet adaptations strengthened their bond, even as uncertainty lingered. The focus was not on what was changing, but on how to move forward together. In those intimate moments, compassion became their shared language. Choosing dignity over speculation, friends noticed subtle differences as well, though Bruce's warmth and charisma remained present in flashes. As patterns became clearer, the family made a deliberate decision. Dignity would come before explanation. They resisted the pull of public curiosity, prioritizing privacy while they sought answers. In an age when speculation spreads quickly, silence became an intentional shield. They understood that vulnerability without context can easily be misunderstood. By withholding premature explanations, they created space to process privately. This choice was not about avoidance, it was about devotion. Protecting Bruce from unnecessary scrutiny mattered more than satisfying headlines. During this period, compassion guided every decision. The family's restraint reflected a profound respect for the man at the center of the story, ensuring that whatever unfolded next would be framed with care rather than rumor. The diagnosis that changed everything. When clarity finally arrived, it carried both relief and heartbreak. Bruce was diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia, a progressive neurological condition affecting language, behavior, and decision-making. The name explained years of subtle shifts that once seemed disconnected. Understanding replaced uncertainty, though it did not erase pain. Doctors outlined what to expect and how the condition might progress. Knowledge gave structure to confusion, transforming scattered moments into a coherent narrative. For the family, the diagnosis marked not an ending, but a turning point. It reframed the past and reshaped the future simultaneously. There was grief in the confirmation, yet also a strange peace in finally knowing. Uncertainty had a name, and with that name came the ability to plan, adapt, and move forward with intention rather than guesswork. Seeing the past. With new clarity after the diagnosis, memories resurfaced differently. Conversations that once felt puzzling suddenly made sense. Moments of frustration softened into understanding. Emma later shared that clarity aligned the past in ways both comforting and devastating. What once appeared random now formed a pattern. This reframing brought relief, dissolving lingering doubts about what had gone wrong. Nothing had gone wrong. Something had changed. That distinction mattered deeply. It shifted blame into acceptance and confusion, into compassion. Looking back, the family could trace the subtle arc of transformation with clearer eyes. Though the realization carried grief, it also brought unity. Understanding allowed them to release unanswered questions and focus instead on presence. The past, once clouded by uncertainty, now stood illuminated by knowledge. Creating a new rhythm of life with clarity came intention. The household reorganized around stability and calm. Routines were simplified, schedules softened, environments were adjusted to promote comfort and familiarity. These changes were not dramatic, they were thoughtful and steady. Loved ones learned to measure time differently, not by achievement but by connection. Days were shaped around meaningful moments, shared music, gentle conversation, quiet companionship. Productivity no longer defined value, presence did. By prioritizing emotional safety, they created a rhythm that honored Bruce's evolving needs. Each adjustment reflected care rather than loss. Though the future felt uncertain, the present remained tangible. In building this new rhythm, the family demonstrated that adaptation can coexist with love. Life did not stop. It shifted, guided by compassion and attentiveness. Speaking publicly as one. Eventually, the family chose to address the world together. Demi Moore joined Emma and Bruce's daughters in releasing a unified statement. Their message was measured, honest, and free from sensationalism. They sought understanding, not sympathy. By presenting a collective voice, they emphasized unity over individual narrative. The decision to speak publicly came after months of private reflection. They recognized the importance of replacing speculation with truth. Transparency became an act of respect, both for Bruce and for families facing similar circumstances. Their openness reframed the conversation, shifting it from rumor to awareness. In choosing clarity, they demonstrated courage. The statement resonated widely, not because of celebrity, but because of its humanity. It reminded the public that behind fame stands family. Advocacy rooted in love. As time progressed, Emma emerged as a steady advocate for awareness surrounding frontotemporal dementia. She spoke with precision and grace, balancing honesty with protection. Her words connected with caregivers worldwide, offering language to experiences often felt in isolation. She emphasized that understanding the diagnosis was both a blessing and a burden. Clarity brought relief, but also responsibility. By sharing their journey, she transformed private pain into communal understanding. Advocacy became an extension of love, not a performance. At home, her strength manifested in quieter ways, organizing care, nurturing calm, and leaning on support systems when needed. Through openness, the family helped destigmatize cognitive illness and encourage earlier conversations. Their willingness to speak did more than inform. It empowered others to approach similar challenges with courage and compassion, a legacy measured by humanity. Bruce Willis's legacy extends far beyond box office milestones. His performances, from hardened detectives to reluctant heroes, revealed resilience grounded in humanity. In light of his diagnosis, audiences began revisiting his work with renewed appreciation, noticing the emotional vulnerability beneath the toughness. Strength, as he portrayed it, was never about invincibility. It was about endurance. Yet perhaps his most powerful legacy lies not in film, but in the example set by his family. Their unity, honesty, and unwavering commitment reframed a difficult chapter as one defined by dignity and love. Hollywood may celebrate icons, but true legacy is measured differently. It is found in the courage to face uncertainty together and in the grace to adapt when life changes course. In that sense, Bruce's story continues, not as tragedy, but as testimony to resilience shaped by love,